Hello, and welcome to Do Life. It's a joy coming to you today. I mean, what a privilege to be alive. The reason why you are alive is because there's an assignment for you to accomplish. There's a work for you to do. And God has a plan for your life. And I'm so thrilled that today we can do life together as we seek to pursue our purpose and our calling in God. In our last session, we talked about fathers and spiritual sons. And we will continue that same series. So if you are not there for our last session, please make sure that you go back to it. Follow and also subscribe. And let your friends share as well with your friends. Pastor Kirkpatrick and I will continue our session. And I believe God will bless you as you listen to these words of wisdom and also words that will uplift your spirit to pursue your call in God. Pastor Kirkpatrick, what a blessing again. Let's continue where we left off. And if there's any other questions, just as we've been doing, we're speaking straight from the heart. And we've been talking about spiritual fathers and sons or mentors. So please, let's take it up and let's roll.
Yes, sir. It's an honor, Dad, to be back on Do Life with you. Again, thank you for the privilege to share. And I'm excited. I tell you what, the last session was so powerful, and I know that many people's lives were changed and blessed by the things that you shared with us. You know, when you talk about spiritual sons and fathers, I think the last time we left off, you were relating and talking to us about the importance of sons and how a son or daughter should honor their biological parents or their spiritual parents. Even Jesus, when I read the Bible, I noticed that Jesus could not accomplish all that was in him until he received words of affirmation from his Father. I think you alluded to it in a past session. You said the Father looked at Jesus and said, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." So let's talk a little bit today about how important it is for sons and daughters to honor their spiritual parents, because that's important. And I think honor is so very vital, because there's a lot of dishonor we see. You said it, a lot of times as sons and daughters, we see, success, we see growth, we see blessings, we see favor, and then we get to the point where we distance ourselves from the fathers and from those who are mentors and leaders to us. Have you seen that in your experience? And if you have seen that, talk to our audience about the detriment of breaking away from spiritual parents after you become successful.
It's just a reminder of Lot and Abraham. There comes a time that you think your fields are producing more than your father's field. There comes a time you feel you have more following than your father. There comes a time you think you are more popular than your father. There comes a time you think that you are more trendy than your father. And this thing comes on you that I don't need the father. I only needed him to get a standing. Now that I can stand on my own, I believe I'm okay. I can operate without him. After all, I don't remember the last time I called him for this major decision that I made. And I was successful at the decision that I made. I've been able to buy a home, buy a car, expand the ministry, have branches all over. I've been able to open several bank accounts, and I'm able to say that I have been invited by my favorite guys out there. So I don't need my father, and that's when dishonor comes in. That's when disrespect comes in. That is when arrogance and pride sets in. Let me say something to you, honestly. There are so many people today in ministry or in business who don't have fathers. What they have are entertainers and athletes as role models. When an athlete or entertainer becomes your role model, you are filled with the spirit of glamour, glare. So whatever is shining or glaring, you consider to be gold. So you take it as the way to go. Our people are so trendy today, so they don't have any culture or any set values. They are copied from everybody else until they are so mixed up with so many copies that you don't know which one is which anymore. We have to have a father. That's what Paul and Timothy's relationship is all about. I become a father unto you. You have many teachers, but you don't have many fathers. So whenever you find people who don't want to be stable, they become butterfly sons. They fly on every tree that would actually produce what they need to move to the next tree. There's no consistency. There is no stability. It's flash up out there here, but they are not raised by a father or raised by mentors. They are raised by entertainers or athletes. So when you find a person whose life or who has been raised by an entertainer and an athlete or fame and not a true father, usually they don't have the backbone to support them. But when you find somebody with a true father, when the father's presence is not there, it shows in their works. It shows in their ministry. It shows in their business. It shows, and I'm speaking to some of you businessmen who have succeeded, but before you got to where you were, you went to companies, you went to businesses, you went to leaders, you went to managers, you went to CEOs, you went to entrepreneurs who had actually broken certain mold and created certain movements. And you went to them to get some inspiration. But after you got what you needed, and after you got your next contract, your next deal, your next gig, they're no longer relevant. Even didn't have to go back to say thank you. Even didn't have to go back to say, you are the one that initiated me to this process. You are the one who taught me how to stand and even showed me how to apply myself to this roles. And Lord God, for heaven's sake, if you are not going to even appreciate what they have done to you, don't tell the world you made all this on your own. It's by your creativity and ingenuity. That's not true. Tell the truth and shame the devil. And respect the people that God used in your life. So what really happens here is people have to learn to appreciate the people who birthed them. Have to appreciate those who held them in the various stages of life and stay connected to them and show appreciation to them. You see, if you do that, not only are you satisfying your conscience or validating your faith, but you are also trying to say that somebody was used of God to help me get to where I am in life. We need people because they help us, they stabilize us, they open doors for us, they connect us, and they show us by wisdom, how to succeed. But if not, you'll be going on try and error. And you may end up hurting yourself more than protecting yourself, having people with you. Yes, there are times that you may feel, you know what, I thank you for your counsel, but this is what I feel like doing. But you do it in a most respectful manner, but not a disparaging manner, disregarding manner. In ministry or in business, I've had so many people, son, that have come to me and said to me, listen, I'm about to start, or I'm new in the area, or new to this, and I've heard about you, I've read about you, and I know the impact you are having around the world, and I really need you to help me do this, or help me do this. And I'll just open the doors for them. Some of the people I know in my heart that they are not going to be loyal people, they're truthful. I know that they just want somebody they can use as a reference to say, I know him, I connected with him. They may come and just take a picture with you. That's all it takes. To use it to prove to the people that this is my mentor. Many times it's not true. Because if truly they came with a heart to learn and to serve and also benefit, they wouldn't run away like that. So they come, you help them, they go out there, they fail. The next time you realize they're looking for somebody else, because the way they burned the bridges was such that they couldn't come back. That's why it's always good to tell people who are looking for fathers, listen, treat the people you meet on the ground floor respectfully, because they may be the same people you may meet on your way down. On your way to the top, don't disregard the people on the bottom. Treat them well. So when you go and you mess up there, for sake of reference, or stability, or redemption, you may need them coming down. If not, you will be exposed, and you will hurt yourself in many dimensions. So the spiritual father thing is so necessary. It's critical. It's key. Honor the people that God put in your life. Celebrate them. Respond to them. In fact, if you cannot show up in their birthdays, show with your appreciation, with your gifts, that I am not going to be there, but I want you to know that because it's my daddy, this is what I'm doing for you. Because it's my mom, this is what I'm doing for you. There are certain times spiritual sons can even do more than biological sons and daughters can do. Because at times you stay with your spiritual parents too long and you get too familiar, or your biological parents get too familiar. You no longer give them the respect and the honor that is due them. But if you understand their place in your life, and you value their place in your life, wow, what you do for them will be something that will bring tears of joy. Because whenever they remember what you've done for them, they just say, you know what? I'm just grateful. But we should not be like Lot, who started competing with Abraham, who wanted the biggest and the brightest, because your father will not fight you. Abraham will not fight with Lot. Take whatever you want. But in the end, Sodom and Gomorrah will come onto you. So always remember, the fact that things are bright today doesn't confirm your point that I knew better than my father, smarter than my father, anointed than my father. And you know something that is very key? If you have somebody as a spiritual father, and the time comes even for them to physically transition from this earth, show them in their memories by honoring their spouses or their children. This is what David did with his friend Jonathan. Look out for the friends or the family members of your spiritual father in their absence, or spiritual mother, and bless them. Don't act like a chicken or a hen. After they finish eating, they wipe their beak. And the ones they can't eat, they scatter it. If I'm not going to have it, no one is going to have it. There are so many people like that. And please listen to me. Don't you get to the point, because people put so much in your head and make you think you are the greatest, you forget how you started. And you disorganize or disrespect those whose shoulders you stood, those whose platform you stood on, those who gave you honor and opened doors for people to accept you. Be careful. Don't cut your face. Be careful not to allow your little success or recognition overshadow who your father is in your life. There are so many of you, you started and you grew very fast, succeeded very fast, became famous very fast. And in the course of your journey, you had some hiccups. And you found people who could share with you in your pain because they protected you. And that's what good fathers do. They'll protect you from embarrassment, hold your home together, make sure that nothing comes that will be detrimental to affect your respect within your own children. Make sure that the lights will be on, The bills will be paid. They will give you wisdom, counsel, and at times even financially invest in you. Don't forget them. They were with you. And now that they've been with you, they've helped you overcome that hump. The shame is removed. You are building up again. Then you dump them. Now you're going to look for somebody who is brighter and bigger. That is ungratefulness. And that's what the Bible says, in the end of time, men shall be ungrateful, lovers of self more than lovers of God. So if you have a spiritual father, treat him with honor. Treat him with honor. And remember, genuine spiritual fathers are rare. You can't buy them in a store. And if they happen to be in your path and God gave them to you, take them. Some people will say, you're my father. The next day they see somebody else, they say, that's my father. Then it's like, you're the only person with so many fathers. And when you find somebody with so many fathers, that person then is a bastard. You have to know who your father is. If you show who your father is, then the strength of your father, grace of your father, inheritance of your father, the honor of your father will protect you. So,
wow, it's very good. You talked about a word that I heard in your speaking just a moment ago about loyalty. And I find that there are those who have many different fathers, or they're with one person for a season, and as you stated, like the butterfly, once it gets what it wants, it goes to some other tree, or things of that sort. So my question to you is, when you see people who have this tendency to kind of vacillate and move about from here to there, what do you feel like is at the core? I know you stated that they're bastards, they're illegitimate, right? But why do you think that there is such a inconsistency with sons and daughters as it relates to their fathers or their spiritual parents and those, their mentors? Why do you think that is today?
Some of these things boils down to relationship and understanding the importance of relationships. Now, once we are talking about fathers and the sons who vacillate, move from place to place, let's understand that when you are in a very solid relationship, trusted relationship, proven relationship, secure relationship, you will not feel the need of going anywhere. There are those who have this restlessness in them that no matter how much the environment provides for healthy relationship, they will move on because after 2-3 years, they're tired. Some people get bored easily. They move on. There are certain relationships that breaks down, not because something is wrong, but because one member of the relationship cannot stay in one relationship that long. They got to break up and go away. Now, when that is the case, then there's a problem in the person who is seeking for a spiritual father. They are wandering spirit. I call it the rolling stone spirit. I mean, the rollers, they are rolling stones. Anywhere they find, they will lay their head. And the same way, there are some spiritual fathers who are the same way. They prey on young people who are successful. They will force fatherhood on them to take advantage of them. There are some fathers who are hirelings. There are some fathers who have bad spirit. They are not coming to father, they're coming to milk. They are not coming to father, they're coming to abuse. They're not coming to father, but coming to take advantage of. And there are some fathers whose works literally have come to an end, not because, they didn't do a good job, but the era of their ministry has peaked. They can go out and look for young people and say, God told me to come and become your father. No, don't do that. If God tells you to be a father, you have to be a giver, because whoever initiates that role should know that that role entails giving. Because a father gives, a father directs, a father protects, a father guards, a father supports, A father upholds. A father nourishes. A father heals. A father restores. A father wipes tears. And a father will go where the fight is in defense of his son. So whilst some sons vacillate back and forth, there are those fathers who have also lost their mind, and for that sake, they take advantage. They take advantage. They abuse. They ignore the needs of their sons. They will put pressure on them and unnecessary demands. We have to have balance here. So as the sons vacillate back and forth and go back and forth and all of that, there are some fathers who are hirelings, and there are fathers who just take advantage of people. They look for those they believe they can get something out of. There are those who will sit quiet to find out, what do you think about this person? Oh, he's a generous person. Then immediately they will find somehow hook into you. They are the false prophets or the false fathers who will find hooks into people and pulls them. There are some people who are fathers and they are saved there, but there are some fathers who find ways and means to pull them out of their fathers because they feel what their fathers are getting should be transferred to them.
Wow.
So we got to look at it practically and truthfully. And we have to speak truth to all areas. Yes, we want sons to recognize their fathers. If you don't have one, look for one. Mm-hmm. But if you're a father, make sure you protect your sons. Honor your sons. Preserve your sons. And there are those also in between who vacillate. There are those who will come to you because they know you are a father and you are a giver. So they will come to you initially to submit for a minute, to place a demand on your generosity. Oh, he's a father, so let me go take advantage of him. Don't you ever take people in who will not invest but will look for a return. Anyone who doesn't invest should not be looking for returns. And anyone who is expecting returns should be an investor. Yes. Because the relationship is dual, give and take, and not one person benefiting. But there's something greater when sons would even give their fathers. At times, they may even be abusive in some points. You keep giving, but have to say, Daddy, can I have a talk with you? I mean, I'm giving, but some of this is coming out of my sweat. But Dad, can you be a little understanding? If I happen not to have for this time, will you be okay until I get back into it? But if you have a father, you're milking him spiritually. Pray for you, fasting for you, counseling you, weeping for you. I mean, you do all these things, but you don't do anything to support the father. It's not right. Yes. You have to take care of your father. Pay bills. You know what? Like they say in other sectors, sweet love can give you kisses and thrills, but sweet love, don't pay no bills. Show your father the money.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for watching another Do Life session powered by King Adamtey. We hope that you've been blessed by this message and stay encouraged. Miracles still happen and God hasn't forgotten you. Be expectant of the miracles God is about to perform in your life if you just believe. Join us in person or online Sundays at 10 a.m. We're located at 5310 South Austin Avenue, Durham, North Carolina, 27713. You can also join us online via live stream by visiting lifeinternational.us/DOLifeTV. We encourage you to give. Your giving allows us to bring you inspirational messages like this every week. Please visit our website, lifeinternational.us/give, to give securely online. You can also text to give by texting your donation amount to 84321, or you can scan this QR code on your mobile device. Thank you for your support. We'll see you next week. Bye.